Hey, Spencer here, and today I'm here for day number 12 of r/PettyRevenge on the Reddit project, where I literally just look for stories and just read them without pre-reading. So I am literally reacting to it as much as you guys are. Today I have 4, maybe 5 stories once again. Starting with, I stopped a kid playing Fortnite. I'm a tradesman and I was working on the power at a house when I asked the man who owned the place if he could turn off any TVs or computers that were on for 10 minutes while I worked on the PowerPoints. He went and told his sons to turn off the TV while I worked on the power. Not 12 seconds later, this little 12-year-old brat comes marching up to me and demanded I restore the power, as he was in the middle of a very important Fortnite game. His dad didn't even flinch at this, like it was a normal thing for a kid to say. So I told the kid very politely that if he gave me 5 minutes or so, I'd have it back on for him. Not 2 minutes later, he marched up to me again and demanded an update and asked what was taking so long. So again, I was polite and told him I wouldn't be long. At this point, I was pretty annoyed at both the kid and dad. So when I had finished working on the power, instead of turning it back on straight away, I left it off for another 10 to 15 minutes while I cleaned up just to spite the kid. Petty, but worth it. You gotta realize, Fortnite is too important. Fortnite is too important to... You can't deny kids Fortnite. That was sarcasm. I hope you caught on. Hospital wanted free art and did not want us there on opening night. Enjoy your free art. When I was 16, I took 10th grade at an art school. Mondays and Fridays were spent doing regular schoolwork, and the rest of the week was pure art heaven. There were free workshops, and you would dedicate yourself to one of them for the whole year. There was design of clothes, more general design, and animation. I was in animation with all the geeks. At one point, the school was commissioned by a new section at a hospital. I do believe it was the children's section, but I'm not sure, to decorate the new hallways, and the prompt we got from them was the Red Fred. We were also told from the get-go that we would not be paid or even be allowed to show up for the reception, because that was only for the important people in town. So think mayors, doctors, CEOs, and all that lame shit. Now, when you ask somebody to do you a favor and have the nerve to have an attitude about it as well, and the someone you asked the favor of is an entire school of artistic 16 to 18-year-olds in the mid-2000s, you are in deep shit. We took the Red Fred theme very, very, very seriously. It wasn't even something we talked about across the workshops, but the entire week you could feel the resentment hang in the air, and we used that resentment to fuel our creativity. We spent a week creating nightmare fuel art. Every single one of us. The clothing designers made nurse outfits caked in blood with red threads stitched into the white fabric, and took knives to the skirts to shred it. I even got a morphine bag and filled it with fake blood and attached it to one of the costumes. The designers made horrific sculptures of broken anatomy, twisting in pain, and silent screams. The animation students, aka my crowd, did all kinds of crazy shit. I made an abstract painting with a friend where we attached plaster to the canvas to make it look like it was oozing blood and pus. Every single piece of art looked like it came straight from Silent Hill, but every one of them had a red thread pulsing through the disgusting artwork, so we did what we were told. We had the artwork delivered and we never heard from the hospital. Not even a thank you note or anything, lol. I think what I appreciated the most is that the teachers and the headmaster of our school just let us do what we wanted and seemed to accept that this collab was a complete disaster. Ha! Ha! Nice. It's like, what do you expect from a whole school? It's like, oh yeah, we're not going to pay you to make this art. Okay, we'll make you your art. It's gonna be the darkest shit you've ever seen. Obnoxious girls get their food stolen while I sit back and watch. So my boyfriend and I went to the beach a couple of weeks ago, and considering it was midweek, it was pretty empty. So we walked for a bit, found a nice quiet spot, and set up our towels. Honestly, there was like no one on the beach. 10 minutes into tanning, these 3 girls walk up and set their stuff right next to us. The entire beach is still empty. They set up their things and begin chatting extremely loudly about the most unbearingly obnoxious things. I don't understand why he wouldn't like me. I mean, I'm ticking all the boxes. Not to mention they're eating and leaving the rubbish on the beach. Of course. So after about an hour of listening to their bullshit conversation and cackling laughter, I'm kind of getting pissed. I mean, we walked this far down the beach to get away from the occasional couple of people around. I keep my cool, and I notice they all go for a swim, leaving their food out as they do. About 5 minutes into their swim, I notice a couple of birds, like crows, come along and start picking open their Pringle container. Now, for those who don't know, crows are very smart birds. Together they help each other eat the entire contents of the container and begin to rummage around the other food. At this point, the girls notice and are calling out to us to scare off the birds. My PettyRevenge part? I pretend I can't hear them, roll into my stomach and continue tanning. By the time the girls got out, all their food was gone. They were pretty grumpy, so they packed up and left. And I finally got to enjoy the peace and quiet I had originally hoped for. Nice. Like, again, it's like, you just do your own thing, and just think it's happened to other people. Like, again, this is another story. Yeah, the best revenge is when you physically don't even have to do anything, lol. Best comment right there. First comment right there, and it's perfect. Park in my driveway? Hope you plan to stay tonight. This was several years ago when I was living at my parents' house still. I was around 19 at the time. I used to drive an old pickup truck, which I always parked in the street in front of my house, as my parents put one car in the garage and the other in the driveway on the other side. This way, no one was ever blocked in. Our old neighbours used to always have large gatherings of family and friends. Seemed like once a month, so I would come home and find a street lined with cars, all at their house. One weekend, my parents were out of town, which left the driveway open, so I parked in it, because why not? This was on a Saturday. I realized that our neighbours were having people over. No big deal. It happens regularly. They are polite and quiet. Yeah, quiet. Their guests will sometimes park close to being in front of our driveway, which is annoying when trying to back out with cars basically surrounding it on all sides. I decided to run and pick myself up some dinner around probably 6 to 7 p.m. I was gone maybe half an hour. When I get back, I noticed someone has parked right smack in the middle of our driveway. It wasn't just any car though. It was a G-Wagon. I had seen this SUV several times before, usually as one of the cars parked close to the front of our driveway. But this time, they decided to park in our driveway. I could have gone and asked them to move the car and park somewhere else. Of course, I could have. Did I? No. Instead, I parked my truck across the entire entrance to the driveway, blocking them in. After a few hours, I get a knock at the door. Guess who it is? the car's owner having the goal to ask me to move my truck so they can leave. I could have moved it, no problem. Instead, I told them, as I had already gone and picked up dinner, I had no reason to leave until at least the next afternoon. They asked if I could just move it as they wanted to get home. I told them again I had no reason to leave and my truck is really loud and I didn't want to disturb the neighbours by starting it so late at night. They were welcome to come back for it tomorrow. I left the truck there until around noon the next day. Not sure how they got home, as this was before Uber and there were no taxis in the area and they were one of the last vehicles to leave the party. But that ain't my problem. Should have thought about that before parking in my driveway. It's like, it's not illegal to block your own driveway, right? So, like, you're not really breaking the law. Okay, last story. Don't insult my engagement ring. We're going to go rich on this one. Wait, how long? Oh, okay, I just wanted to check how long it was. My fiancé and I had been dating for 4.5 years. Not months, years. I should learn to lead. In that time, we had bought a house together, adopted doggies together. I put him through pharmacy school, med school, and lots of people don't realize that pharmacists get their doctorates or how competitive pharmacy can be. And we fell even more in love. He's an amazing man and I'm crazy about him. Imagine my excitement that after braving all the ups and downs and watching life unfold as a team, that he proposed. I was overjoyed, and through tears of happiness I said yes, and of course doggies were involved. It's a larger, slightly blush pink amethyst stone with a halo of topaz around it, set in rose gold. I loved it. It was perfect. The next day, I was attending a baby shower for my best friend in my hometown. I trekked my way there, and even though I tried to downplay the engagement because I wanted it to be about her, she made a mini announcement because I knew people who were there. Most people did a little congrats type thing, which was nice, except for her cousin. This girl, let's call her Amy, is super religious. Actually, everyone from my hometown is super religious, and I appreciate their faith, but I didn't like her judgment. She has voiced her opinions about how people shouldn't live together unless they're married and all that jazz. So when she sauntered over, she took my hand in hers and scrutinized the ring. She more or less said that at least he was making an honest woman out of me, and that he had taken too long to propose. Then she kind of scrunched her nose at my ring and asked what kind of stone it was, with a little snobby half smile on her face. She also said that it was generic, that he would ask me now that he's graduating, because that's what everyone does. What? How many proposals have you seen happen after someone graduated? Huh? I don't know what came over me. I love my ring and I'd never been this mean girl. But I've known Amy for a while and she's always been like this. She likes to say what terrible decisions other people have made and how she puts Jesus first. So that's why her life has turned out so well. She says it's because she has followed his plan, which ultimately led to her getting married ridiculously young to a guy who really isn't good for her at all and just leeches off of her. She had to put herself through school and work while he would go on long stints out of the country to find himself and follow God's path, which I really think meant bang other women. She married him in the middle of a college year before one of the times he left. I suspect to entice him to come back and have commitments here. Well, I went for it, and I said, oh, he waited until he knew he could provide for me. It's a pink diamond. Her whole face changed from smug to envious. She practically threw her hand down and mumbled how happy she was for me. I looked up how big my petty lie was had been later, I only found out that yes, pink diamonds are actually a thing, and the tinny ones are like $10,000. But hey, she doesn't have to know how poor we are. We are rich with unconditional love and loyalty, and that's why I'm happy to call him my future husband. In addition, I'm brimming with pride and excitement to show you my ring. Thanks for all the support and well wishes. I hope it works. Let's see what this image is. Ah. I don't really get the appeal of rings that much. And I'm pretty sure it would look better in person as well. Anyways, I guess I am going to end this episode here. Links will be in the description to my main channel and also the channel where you're watching this video right now that has links on the screen to the playlist and the last episode. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video comes out. A ding, I'm Mad Scientist. Mad Scientist, out.